Good morning, brothers. Breakfast heating on the stove. Dr. Dean Ornish says that loneliness, lack of intimacy, lack of human contact causes more illness than anything else. That's right. Worse than smoking, worse than drug abuse, alcohol, them combined even. Bad diet, lack of exercise, all those things. You can have all those things to some degree, but if you don't have that close human contact, then you are more predisposed to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all of those things. That's interesting, isn't it? And there's a town somewhere, I think it's Philadelphia, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, where they have a really tight-knit community, and they have dances every Tuesday, and they have sport on the weekend, and they have these church meetings, and they have all these things where they get together as a community and connect up. And guess what? These people, they drink, they smoke, and they have a really low rate of cardiovascular disease or cancer and all that because they have intimacy. So what's going wrong? Why is it today with social media we've got so many friends and mates online, but we're not really getting that connection with people? What are we doing wrong? It's a time now when you can have as many friends as you want. My Facebook's got like 3,000. Wow, I must be laughed at. No, most of them don't actually give a rat's ass about who I am and what I do, and most of them don't connect up with me really intimately closely. And you could say the same about your Facebook friends too, unless you're one of those people that's only got 10 Facebook friends and they are all your friends, because realistically we only have a very, very tiny handful of people in our close circle. So there's three things that you got to have close, meaningful relationships. If you're lonely, if you're not feeling connected with people, these three things you need to look at within yourself. And these are, I call it the three-legged stool. The stool cannot possibly stand up if you take one of the legs away, so it needs all three of them. And the first one is positivity. You've got to have positivity. When you meet somebody, if you like for the first time, there you go, mate. I'm shit, how are you? I'm having a shit day, how are you? You might go, okay, this guy's honest, but he's a bit negative. Or if you get with someone for a moment and then very quickly that person becomes negative all the time, you're going to turn away from that person very quickly. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to share things that are damaging or hurting you at some point in your relationship, because that's what a good friendship has in it. But to begin with, the number one is positivity. Got to have that. Second one is being constant with someone, being constantly keeping in contact, making a regular habit of connecting up with that person. G'day mate, sorry I haven't talked to you. I went and saw my mate Troy the other day because he's a good mate, and I realised I haven't been consistent with my connections with him. I'd lacked a bit, and so I connected up with him. Man, it felt good, and I realised, you've been too caught up in yourself, Clay, and he's a friend of mine, he's an important mate. So having that consistent, that keep catching up, making time is really, really important. You can't have a relationship without it. If you've got a girlfriend that you're living with, or a boyfriend you're living with, or both, whatever you're into, then if you come home, just sit on your computer, and you don't give them the time, you're consistently not giving them time, eventually that's going to wear thin, that relationship. So you've got to have that there in your relationship. You've got to be consistently similar to how you are. You've got to be consistent in yourself, so that person knows what they're getting. If you're from one week to the next, one minute you're like, g'day mate, how's it going? The next minute you're just like it's up and down. It makes it very difficult. Not to say that is not going to work, but it makes it hard for the other person. And the third thing is vulnerability, showing your vulnerability, because we all connect up when we see the parallels on someone else's vulnerable side. I'm always ready to show my vulnerable side. If say my dog dies, or I'm struggling, I'll say, hey, and this has got nothing to do with negativity, this is life. Just say, hey mate, look, I'm struggling a bit right now. I'm struggling with this here. I'm not doing too well. I'm hurting because she left me. I'm hurting because my dog's died, and these are my emotions. People can draw a parallel with that, and they can understand where you're at, because we all have that. None of us are immune from having a bad day. So those three things together in your relationship, and it will hold up. First, being positive. Second, being consistent. And third, showing your vulnerability, showing your human side, showing the side of yourself that's real, that's not always on top, that's struggling sometimes, that's finding something a challenge. Because a lot of things in life are a challenge, and we've all got that. All of us have. None of us are immune from, like, there's no such thing as Superman. Yes, nothing can touch me, I'm good. There you go, mate. Yep, no, I don't get sick, and I don't have insecurities, and I don't have any worries. Bullshit. We all have that. We all at some stage in our life feel a little bit oversensitive about something, or we might have an illness we're trying to cope with, or we might have a mental illness or a physical illness or an emotional one. We might have a breakup. So sharing that with people so they can see that you're prepared to be vulnerable, and get rid of your macho image if you're a bloke, because that's where us men fall down with our relationships. Yeah, some of the toughest guys I know are the most vulnerable. My son would be the most bravest human being that I know. He's laid his life down twice to save other people. Try and save him. One he didn't save, but he was there to do it, and he's made himself vulnerable in so many ways. And I love my son to the end of this world. If I had to give an organ, I'd give it in a heart. Mind you, my organs are pretty shit, so to save his life, I wouldn't be doing him any favours. Anyway, I'll keep this short. That's what you need to build your friendships. So get out there and start. Don't try to get more friends. There's plenty of people. You don't need more friends. What you need to do is cultivate good relationships with the friends you've got. Okay, smash out the day, go steady, and we'll see you in the next Bro Check Club video. See you later. This is cooking. Dinner. Get this off here right now. It's actually bubbling away. Oh, we've got all sorts of goodies in here this morning, all out of the garden. I'm not a big kale fan, but I'm growing it, so I'm eating it, and apparently it's pretty good for you. Fuck, that's hot. Woo. Turmeric smells good. Got a real mixture in here. I don't know how this is going to be. It's going to look pretty crazy. So turmeric's really good for getting inflammation down. If you've got any aches and pains, guys, smash the turmeric. I've actually got some berries in there too. Got some blueberries. Looks pretty outrageous, doesn't it? Surprisingly really delicious. The beetroot. See ya.